I see exactly what you mean.
All right.
It says the term of the lease shall be for 6 months, commencing February 7th and ending on July 7th. That's 5 months.
Right.
Right.
There's more to this story.
I don't care. Listen, I don't plan on making this a whole day affair. This
All
is
right.
not the Scopes trial. You say she damaged the premises.
Yes,
How did
Your
she
Honor.
damage the premises?
She left boiling water on a wood parquet floor.
Show me. How do you leave boiling water on a wood parquet floor? I
You
don't
let it overflow a boiling pot, and then, I don't know, maybe wake up an hour later and turn the pot off.
What is this white thing? Is this the stove?
Yes. Yes.
Stoves and I aren't friends. I usually can't identify them unless I see the whole thing.
Martha Stewart's available.
I have a large sign in my kitchen, and you know what this large sign says? Martha Stewart doesn't live here. Would you give this to the defendant and share it to friends?
She says the nicest things about you.
I think she's wonderful. You know, she does her thing. I'll do mine. How'd that happen?
Well, over
Not a
time.
well. Well isn't an answer. Let's have
Over
it.
time, because he had sawed off part of a countertop and put it in a new place right next to the stove and left a gape, half an inch, quarter an inch. Over time, I did see the swelling. He talked with the contractors. I was present to make note that there was swelling. But in my opinion, I did the best thing I could, cleaned up everything. I'm a very neat person.
Was water left there by you that had boiled over on the floor, causing
Absolutely
this?
not.
Absolutely not. And this, what you're showing me, listen to me carefully, what you're showing me is under
The
the
stove.
stove? Get it. Now tell me about this false arrest.
One day, the sheriff's office arrived at my door and told me that I was under citizen's arrest. When I asked them what for, they said they couldn't disclose. It was a citizen's arrest, and that they made it quite clear that it was not their arrest,
It was by a citizen, this citizen.
not them.
Well, right. And it's clear that Miss Stevenson did, in fact, cause you to be arrested. So I think I'm going to let her tell me the story. Go ahead, madam.
I was greeting a neighbor across the street in the front of in the front of my unit, the back of their apartment. A neighbor that they have a mutual restraining order against. The plaintiffs had put my name as a protected person in a restraining order that they filed against my neighbor. I went to the court system, put a declaration and a penalty of perjury that I did not give them consent to be a protected person. However, this person is my friend. I ran across the street, went in his house actually for the first time, saw that he was a little ill, talked with him for maybe 5 minutes.
You're distracting me.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had him violated on the temporary order of protection. Is that right?
I went down to
Is that right? Based upon that statement, I read your answer, madam. Don't fool around with me.
And later today,
It's like a $2,000 TV, and 2 weeks later, we get into some kind of argument. She says she wants to break up. I said, I want my TV back then. She goes, no, tough luck.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Scott and Justina Wilmore claim former tenant Anna Stevenson owes for unpaid rent, damages, and for a false arrest. Anna says Scott violated her restraining order.
Go ahead.
my friend Michelle was waiting downstairs for me. I ran across the street, went up to my unit. Mr. Wilmore was on his upper deck patio and said the sheriffs are on their way. And I said, I know, I didn't just hear you talk to me.
Why did you, just a second. I don't have a restraining order. You got a restraining order against
I have a
him?
restraining order against Mr. Wilmore.
For what?
For harassment, for...
What kind of harassment?
First of all, he...
Let me see a copy of the restraining order.
Peeping Tom, ma'am. I caught him in my... crouched down in a small window,
Your Honor, if
peering
you were
through
married
my...
to this one, would you...
Now, listen to me. Listen to me. Mr. Wilmore,
I'm sorry.
you're making it very difficult for me to concentrate on this case.
Okay.
I want you to understand that. Now, I know that you and your wife don't want me to make it difficult for me to concentrate on this case, but talking to each other, looking through your papers, is not helping me.
Okay.
Okay. What was the date, by the way, that he allegedly violated this protective order?
The date I had him arrested, 5/20.
What was the date?
5/20.
And you had gotten this on May 7th?
Correct.
It was continued on your request until the 22nd of May. Is that right?
That's right.
Why was it continued?
Because Mr. Wilmore asked for a continuance.
He actually appeared
He did the first
time and asked for a continuance until the 22nd. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry.
Quiet!
It's not. You can
Oh, listen to me.
Just
Just be quiet. And 2 days before you were scheduled to go back to court, Mr. Wilmore said to you from his balcony, "I've just called the police."
Yes, ma'am.
And based upon that, you had him violated on the temporary order of protection. Is that right?
I went down to,
Is that right? Based upon that statement, I read your answer, madam. Don't fool around with me. Based upon that statement, the sheriffs are on their way. You had him violated for talking to you. Is that right?
yes, ma'am, that's right.
Good. How many hours did you spend?